This week on GamePron News, Team Fortress 2 becomes the most highly rated free-to-play game. Crysis 2 gets set to support DirectX 11, Rockstar Games promise that LA Noire will come to PC, the Australian Classification Board offers some good news for gamers, while Heroes of New Earth fans aren't quite so happy. Google announces its intention to move into gaming, and PopCap Games is up for sale. Or is it? Hi, I'm Jessica Citizen. We really should have seen this one coming. Last week, Valve announced that it would support free-to-play games on its digital distribution system, Steam. Then, head of marketing Doug Lombardi hinted that the company was moving ahead on a title which would feature a microtransaction model. Even with Team Fortress 2 simultaneously announcing the biggest, most ambitious update in the game's 4-year history, we still didn't get it. Instead, everybody started wondering if Dota 2 would be the game to receive the microtransaction makeover, which seemed fitting for a game based on a Warcraft 3 mod. I'm sure Valve spent a good few days sitting in Seattle pointing and laughing at everybody, ignoring the really obvious signs that Team Fortress 2 was going free to play forever. That's right, as part of the Team Fortress 2 Uber update, which also included the Meet the Medic video, Valve announced that the cartoon team-based shooter would be free to play on PC or Mac from now on, relying solely on microtransactions to earn its keep. The price of the game had been stepping down gradually, and this move has been in the works since late last year and the unveiling of the Manco in-game store for user-created items. While some gamers are a little upset with the move, we're guessing those who finally bought the game on Wednesday, Valve argues that this will actually improve in-game experiences. As Robin Walker says, the more people playing the game, the higher value the game has for each individual customer. So where does this leave Dota 2? Pretty much where it was at the beginning of the week. Valve has said that it would be dangerous to assume the free-to-play model would automatically work with the company's other products, but it still hasn't ruled out the possibility. It's been a bit of a PC-centric week, actually. Crytek has revealed its plans for the 1.9 update for Crysis 2, that is, the one that will bring eagerly awaited DirectX 11 support. CEO Chavat Yurley describes this patch as a gift for the high-end fans, explaining that it offers a sneak peek of where PC gaming will evolve to in the future. Whether or not you believe him, there's all sorts of shiny features included in the patch, as well as some new additions and the inevitable bug fixes. The 1.9 patch will be released on June 27th, along with some impressive new high-res texture packs to go with it. PC fans also got a treat this week from Rockstar Games, who announced that crime drama LA Noire is headed their way, with an arrival date set for the North American fall. Initially announced as a PS3 exclusive, LA Noire was released simultaneously on Xbox 360 as well earlier this year, and has sold 4 copies in the month since launch. It's been labelled the fastest selling new video game IP in UK history, and despite only being on shelves for half of the assessment period, was the highest selling game in the United States last month. The PC version is in development at Rockstar Leeds, and it looks like customization is a big part of the project. You'll be able to remap your keyboard or use a gamepad and tailor the performance to your personal preferences. They're also promising increased fidelity and improved graphical enhancements. Plus, if you have the technology, you'll be able to play this one in 3D too. If you haven't picked this one up yet on console, it sounds like the PC version might be something to hang on for. One thing that we won't be seeing on PC, however, is the beta for Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Future Soldier. That one's been confirmed as an Xbox 360 exclusive, due to arrive in January next year. The full game's still in the works for PS3 and PC as well, but you'll have to wait a little while longer to get your hands on that one. There's finally some good news for Australian gamers, with the local classification board making decisions on both Dead or Alive Dimensions and We Dare this week. Dead or Alive was originally rated PG before having its rating revoked over allegations of inappropriate content. The review board took the game away and looked at it again, with local distributor Nintendo pointing out the content that had so upset the Swedish censors. The version of the game released down under only mentions the girls' ages if they are over 18, and this is a contributing factor as to why the game has now been re-released, this time with a more appropriate, mature rating, with the guidance that it contains violence and sexualized gameplay. We Dare, on the other hand, was put under the microscope and carefully observed before being released back into the wild with absolutely no changes to the rating. The board found that Ubisoft's floaty party game merely contains mild sexual references, which can be accommodated under the parental guidance umbrella. The board explains there are no sexual references in actual gameplay, with the mild references appearing only in non-interactive text boxes. Hardware failures are never fun. It's bad enough when your personal PC crashes and won't wake up, so please spare a thought for S2 Games, the developers of Heroes of Newerth. Earlier this week, during scheduled maintenance, the game was hit by a catastrophic hardware failure, which took down a number of systems, including some of the game's backups. The hardware failure stars must have been aligned perfectly for the company. Both of the game's servers were simultaneously taken offline to upgrade a processor, and both of the file systems on those boxes were destroyed. It seems almost statistically impossible, the developer explained in a forum post. It took S2 a few days to get everything back together, and it's still not 100%, but CEO Mark DeForest has reached out to the game's fans, offering an apology and a bunch of in-game goodies. The news follows a serious denial of service attack back in May, which actually prompted a transition to a new hosting company. The system was in a 99% functional state before the crash hit on Tuesday, June 21st, taking the game to its knees. S2 are devastated. The news breaks a nearly 2-year run of nearly 100% uptime. The company is intent on restoring the level of service that gamers have come to expect, and from what we've seen so far, most people seem fairly happy with what they've been offered as compensation. If you're looking for a job and are able to work out of Mountain View in California, listen up. A job posting has outed a new project which needs a product manager, the creatively titled Games at Google. Described as a rare opportunity to grow a brand new business, this is the first we've officially heard of the plan. The ideal candidate will be someone who can cover a range of tasks, designing the user interface, working with the gaming community, and liaising with developers and partners. Obviously, you'll have to love games too. We're not sure at this point if the project is for Android, Chrome, or something using web-based apps, but with Google on board and a healthy-sounding job description, this sounds like it's something to keep an eye on. Something else to keep an eye on is the biggest story to hit the gaming media this week, whether or not PopCap Games is for sale. When the story first broke, sources close to the company suggested the casual games publisher was being courted for more than $1 billion, but didn't say who was fronting the cash. Rumours started to buzz with Zynga and Electronic Arts, the two frontrunners, both of whom have picked up smaller games developers in recent times, but the possibility of an unknown Asian buyer like DNA or Tencent was always in the background. PopCap came out and seemed to deny the story while publicly refusing to comment on rumour or speculation. Soon though, more sources popped up saying that the denial was a hoax and that Electronic Arts was spending a significant portion of its market cap on the Seattle developer. With both companies refusing to comment on the topic and no sources wishing to be named, the whole thing is a little bit confusing. Hopefully, it all clears up soon. Till next week, I'm Jessica Citizen, and this is GamePron News.